What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe here. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I'm fired up, and the episode hasn't even started. And the reason why, well, it has started now. The reason why is because, my friends, we have the one, the only, Mr. Erik Nilsen that's coming on the show this morning. Now, if you don't know Erik, you're about to. And some of the types of conversations that I have with Erik are some of the most interesting, deepest, wisest conversations that I have with anybody. For example, just backstage a couple of moments ago, we were talking about the depth of gray inside of each of our beards and, how it adds a certain character. I was actually even considering doing a little bit of dye here. And he said, brother, embrace the gray. That's the sort of wisdom that I get from this gentleman. It's irreplaceable. It's unmistakable. It's without its unapologetic authenticity. And this guy started as a student. He actually started as a coaching client back quite a few years ago now. We'll get the exact timeline from him. And we recruited him into the company here. He, of course, wanted to be a part of it as well. And after some time, and he's worked his way up to an executive level here inside of Legendary Marketer, a leadership role, an accountability mentor. And we're going to be talking with him today about all things marketing, leadership, accountability, and success. With that being said, my man, the one, the only, Erik, welcome to the show, brother.
What up? Thanks, Dave. That was beautiful. I appreciate it.
Wasn't it, man? I know. Get out the tissues. I got a whole box here myself, just in case you make me cry, whether that be tears of joy or tears of sorrow and sadness. Either one I welcome. So embrace the gray. You said backstage a couple of moments ago. I appreciate that wisdom. Friends, let me know in the comments. Embrace the gray or die, right? Should a guy dye his beard? Right? What is the deal with that? I don't know. I've hit this stage in life where these are the things that I'm considering now. I can remember a day back in the day, Erik, when I was young, and it was all about, putting on weight. Remember the days when you were so young that it was, and I don't know, all of our bodies are different. Maybe this wasn't a thing for you. I know you've lost a lot of weight. So, but I remember the days when I had a different set of problems, right? Trying to put on weight, trying to just determine what hairstyle I was going to, brush my hair now. And as you know, we're also not only the gray boys, but we're also a little bit of the hairline recessed boys.
Mine's a lot.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you. Thanks.
Yes. But you own it. And that's what I love about you. You own it, brother. You own it. And you're a great mentor for me for aging gracefully. And I appreciate that.
I'll take it.
You started as a student here in Legendary. Take us back to how you got started here and what that experience was like for you. And we'll talk a little bit about your leadership development here. And what has happened since then. So let's go on back in time a little bit and take a little walk back to 3-4 years ago, back in time. Sound like a couple of grandpas. Back in my day.
What was in my day when I started a Legendary Marketer?
I walked 2 miles uphill both ways in bare feet.
And a brown beard, not gray.
Right, exactly. A full head of hair.
Full head of hair, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the stress of online marketing, right? But yeah, no, that was November of 2021.
Wow.
That's when I bought that coaching program. And it was just, I was working a full-time job. I had a really good job that I enjoyed, but I wanted more. And then, as you know, we get on social media, we start scrolling, we start seeing people. And we start getting curious. What can we do with this? So I went all in. I met with my business plan advisor, Quentin, and just bought it. Went all in, bought the coaching program. Met with you a few times, and I think we made this joke a long time ago at a mastermind. Was the program was so good that your coaching wasn't necessary at the time, but what happened after that, I fell off. and I wasn't using the product because I didn't have that accountability person. But anyway, so yeah, so then January of 2021 was the last time I was on here with you. And then, you know, a few months later, I decided I want to be a business plan advisor, man. I fell in love with this education, with the system, with you, with just the community that we surround ourselves with. And I've been a part of that ever since, and it's grown exponentially since then. It's just more love and more just, I get more value out of a legendary marketer in my role now than I ever have, just because I can see all the pieces coming together. I can see how, you know, how different things work within the community. And it's really, really cool to see all aspects of that, to see, you know, a lot of the fight that the people have to grow their business and the drive that they have. But, you know, now I'm here to help those that don't have that for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. And you've done a great job at that. I mean, I've seen you evolve in, you know, so many ways and grow in so many ways, both, you know, in your business, in your leadership development, and also, you know, just who you are as a person, as a dad. You know, you've been able to integrate those two things together so so beautifully. Uh, and I of course recently got to meet your daughters down in New Orleans at our most recent mastermind. And what I mean by integrate that is be able to live life on your terms, be able to go to their volleyball events and their different things that they have going on, and be able to still do what you need to do work wise, take that on the road with you, and sort of integrate that, which is kind of my goal with my kids, is to make it not really obvious when I'm working and when I'm playing, you know, to where it's all sort of integrated, you know, somewhat together in a coherent way, and also in a way that allows me some peace. And so, you know, recently in New Orleans, you know, we rolled out a accountability mentorship program, and we brought you up on stage, along with two other of our accountability mentors. Some of you may have heard about this program that we've released, and we had a chance to be able to talk to you and ask you some questions about your leadership development, and kind of how the accountability element has helped you over the years, to become a better entrepreneur, to become a better leader. Say a little bit more about your kind of journey with leadership development, how that's been different here at Legendary versus other things or places that you've been in the past, and just from the lens of you being a student first. Because one of the things that I sort of pride myself on around here is never asking anybody to do something that I'm not willing to do. And one of those things would be, you know, I'm not here to tell you to get coaching or accountability mentorship if I'm not doing the same thing. And so I have, and I also even sometimes reference you as an accountability mentor to me, because of the way that we hold each other accountable on a daily basis, whether that's putting things in each other's calendars, or whether that is, you know, just the ongoing regular communication and check-ins that we have with each other, that first started as mentor and student between you and I, and then evolved into something more, which it is today. What has that journey been like from your perspective?
Yeah, no, it's unlike any other. I'm truly blessed to have you as a friend and a mentor. But I mean, leadership in a corporate environment it's cold, it's leveled. It's, you never get to talk to you would never get to talk to a CEO in a intimate environment like this or any other. But then when you transition into this company, it's just you know, my journey, just seeing how many people inside of here care, and the love and everything else, not just you for me or everybody else with inside of Legendary, but for the members. How you care for each and every single one of them makes me love you guys even more, and you. But yeah, it's crazy to think that, you know, 4+ years ago, I was in a corporate environment where I was just going through the motions. I was doing my job, and the leadership was just some person I had to report to and give them my reports and my performance evaluations from people. And now with Legendary, I get to see truly what leadership is. It is that accountability piece. It is that not hand holding, but the expectation that I'm going to show up and deliver on whatever it is that I need to deliver on, whether it's giving you advice on dyeing your beard or it's helping members just show up for their business, you know, not have that treadmill that we all have in the back of the room with our clothes hanging on it. You know, we all have that thing, no matter what it is, whether it's going to the gym or showing up to an addiction meeting or building a business or whatever it is. You know, we all have that thing that holds us accountable. My kids, good Lord, are the number one thing that holds me accountable every single day. I wake up every day and I don't just go to work because I need to provide them with new shoes or Lululemon bags, whatever the hell it is. But I do that because they hold me accountable to be a person that they look up to a person that, you know, has a drive that they hope to have one day as well. So yeah, you know, it's a lot, man. It's been a long 4.5 years, but what I've seen here inside of Legendary is the reason why I love it so much, is the reason why we're sitting here today, because I know that any day I'm going to have not just an accountability partner, but I'm going to have somebody to care. That's it. It's just to care.
Yeah, man. And I was just going through some of the you know, some of the memories from New Orleans where you shared this exact you know, this exact thing from stage. Is my screen showing that?
Yeah.
There we are having a little chat, and really kind of connecting with those of you who were at the mastermind and kind of laying it all on the line there for you to hear and see, sort of like we try to do all the time. It just so happened that this was in person with a room full of motivated and serious, like-minded entrepreneurs and fellow peers here, right in Legendary, in our community, in our mastermind. If you ever have a chance to get to it, you know, I highly recommend it, not just because I'm the one facilitating it, but because that's merely my role, is just to facilitate. There's so many powerful voices, so many powerful stories, so many powerful experiences that are happening at this mastermind. Of course, you've got Bonnie and you've got Don Sargent sitting next to you up there. These are three powerhouses, multi-million-dollar producers. Each one of you sitting up on that stage have climbed the ranks of the legendary marketer world, have Rolexes on your wrist. Not that materialistic items are everything in life, but they certainly signify you know, milestones. And each one of you have you know, hit certain milestones that are, you know, that are rare ground for people here within this company and this community. And this community is one that has had lots of people come through it and shoot their shot, and many people have had results, and far few less have achieved those certain milestones. And I'm proud of you for that, and I want to congratulate you for that. As a matter of fact, if you kind of, you know, if you kind of go in there really closely, you can see that bad boy, you know, just kind of
Got right now, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love it. I love it. And I love seeing you both grow, but also now step into a role of an accountability mentor and coach for our clients. And so many of you have heard us talk about the opportunity that if you are, you know, jumping from course to course, if you are, you know, jumping from guru to guru, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're finding it hard to get started or to stay going, right? Sometimes we find ourselves to where we start strong and then we kind of die off. You know, we're great at starting things, but we're not very good at following through with them. And I think that is something, that exact kind of description really describes a lot of people's tendencies. Great at getting excited about some stuff, great at getting excited about opportunity, but then you die off as you get a couple of miles down the road. The engine just kind of, or you, or you take a right turn or a left turn, or just find yourself down off in a neighborhood that you didn't realize. You're like, how the hell did I get here? Right? How suddenly am I all the way over, in this internet maze over here when I started with the legendary 5-day challenge or enrolled in the blueprints. I have everything that I need. And we've heard that over and over and over again in terms of curriculum, in terms of strategy, in terms of the skills that you need to learn in order to be successful, as well as the business plans, the training on how to actually enter into damn near any niche that's profitable online, or at least the most profitable ones. You have all of that, but somehow you're still taking notes. You're still in the learning phase. You're afraid to launch. You're afraid to kind of put yourself out there. So instead, you just buy more stuff and you follow more people. And now you're being inundated with more information. Your email inbox has a new pitch coming in every 5 to 10 minutes. And it's like, how do I restart? And how do I stay accountable and show up every single day in a consistent way? Well, if any of that resonates with you, then our mentorship program may be something that you want to look into. And it's a really simple program. It's 6 months of accountability where you'll be working with one of our accountability mentors. Now, we had launched an interview with Bonnie, who's sitting right there next to Erik up on stage. We want to introduce you to Erik to make sure that you have, at least an understanding of who he is as a person, what his personality is like, a little bit of our history. So that we don't outsource things to some, guy or gal sitting in a cubicle somewhere in a faraway land. We're not outsourcing our mentorship to some other company or some other person or some hired gun. We're mentoring people from the inside out, inside of our own leadership development factory, which has created and produced more success stories than any other company or community that I personally know of. And not only has that track record, but also from an internal standpoint, we don't do external hires. And Erik will tell you this. All of our executives and leadership team were all students or started out, mopping floors, right? Started out at the beginning, doing all of the things that the company requires in order to operate, and work their way up from there. In the case of Erik, a multi-million-dollar sales producer, as well as a leader and executive now inside of the company, turned accountability coach. Because the challenge that education companies in this niche have always had, Erik, is that you have your best people in certain roles. So then these companies bring in outside people to do the coaching, which are not the people who actually have the success and not the people who are actually the organic success stories. They're hired guns from outside. That's not what we're doing here. This is an internal, organically grown mentorship program where, if you are interested in learning more about it, you can book a free session with Erik. All you have to do is email me at dave@legendarymarketer.com, and I will personally connect you with Erik and let you guys take it from there. And Erik will essentially give you enough value on the call. I know this about Erik because he does it every single time that we're on the phone as well, or on a Zoom call. Enough value on the call that whether you enroll in the mentorship program or not, you'll leave that call saying, damn, that was one of the most valuable calls, if not the most valuable time I spent on the phone or Zoom all of this year. And I say that because I know the guy, and not because it's hyped up or because it's, me just trying to blow smoke up your ass. You guys know that that's not what I do. What makes this mentorship program different in your eyes than anything that we've ever done before, Eric, and different also than anything that they've ever seen out there from other, from anywhere or anyone else?
Look, the reason and when you approached me about this, it was a no-brainer. Because, and like you said, we have mentors, myself and Bonnie and Don right now, who are in place because we've been through it. We know the heartache, we know the obstacles, we know everything that you're going to encounter. We know how to get you over that hurdle. We know how to hold your hand. We know what you need. And how this is different from anything else that's out there, anything else that we've done. Look, we're an education company. We've been educating people for years on how to grow a successful online business. Now we still have the education, but now we're going to make sure you do something with it. No other company out there gives a rat's ass if you do anything with what they're selling you. They just care that you got their credit card information and that you are now in their system. That's it. Go join our group and you can ask a question in there, but we're done with you. We got your money. Not here. Not now. Not with Legendary Marketer.
Yeah.
We realize that. Go ahead. Sorry.
You nailed something there that I didn't even expect. Just the idea that we want you to do something with our education. We don't care. There's so many. Look, this has been happening for years on the internet where courses get sold, where, this is an age-old business. This is why we teach it, is because it works and it is a proven model. But the problem is that, and you're not wrong or different if you don't start, or if you feel stuck, or if you start and then stall out. The majority of people that start a course, buy a book, start any how-to training, when they're on their own, get little to no results because not the information isn't good. It's because they can't hold themselves accountable to stay consistent with it. The reason why college works in some cases, and I don't know the exact statistics of how many, quote, success stories there are, but you got to show up to class to get a grade. Here, this is the world of entrepreneurship. You're sort of on your own, and you're going to be on your own in your business too. Nobody's grading you, right? And we're not going to be grading you in this accountability program either. We're going to be holding you accountable to show up and take the actions, the little actions on a daily basis that are going to build into the bigger results over time. You were ranting. I shouldn't even have interrupted you. You were talking and flowing and making so much sense there.
That's okay. And look, you said it too. Like, I don't care. And I was talking to Joanne about this earlier. I don't care if you want to be an affiliate for Walmart. It doesn't matter to me. I want you to be successful, and I want to hold your hand and keep you accountable during that time to make sure that you get whatever it is you want. If you just want 6 months of somebody holding your hand and showing up and making sure you build your funnel over 6 months, fine. If you want to, like I said, promote Walmart, promote Amazon, whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't have to promote Legendary Marketer. That's not the deal. You can. It's a phenomenal company and we provide a ton of value, but we want you to be successful no matter what your passion is, no matter what you want to do, because it will be a whole lot easier to show up if you're loving it, if you're not forcing it. But at the end of the day, you're not showing up, right? Why aren't you showing up? What can we do to make sure that you show up, not just for you, but your family and everybody else around you, so that you can have that thing that you were excited about when you bought the education? We want you to have that thing. It's time to get excited again. It's time to get that fire back, because now you're going to take all this stuff that you've spent all this money on, and we're going to make sure you do something with it.
Yeah. I love that. There's so much integrity and so much just real, raw truth to that, man. And it's what we're obsessed about behind the scenes when we're talking about our company, when we're talking about our education. I mean, we have done nothing but, for the most part, exclusively sell our challenge and our blueprints for the past damn near 7 years. I mean, since the beginning of this company. It's not like we're launching a new, doing a big launch. I mean, we might have a couple of workshops here or there, one-off workshops, but for the most part, our challenge and our blueprints have been it. So when we rolled this accountability mentorship program out recently, we wanted to make sure that we really rolled something out that was going to be valuable, that was really what people wanted and needed. And we've seen here over the course of the last while that people need this. People need this bad. And there's no shame in needing or wanting accountability. As a matter of fact, I have accountability, as Erik said, in every area of my life, from business to my drug and alcohol sobriety recovery. You mentioned that just a moment ago. I mean, one of the things that you do in recovery, and this is just for anybody who either knows or wants to know, I'm very open about this. When you get into recovery, you find yourself a sponsor. And that sponsor is like a mentor. They work the steps with you. That they hold you accountable. You report into them what is going on in your life and stay current with them, not because they're your boss, but because you both are helping each other. But more than anything, they're a predecessor that's come before you, that's seen it, done it, that's seen others do it. The wisdom of just having worked with other people, which Erik has done in a capacity that most people can't even wrap their heads around. The amount of clients that he's worked with here at Legendary, the patterns that you've been able to identify. We talk about this all the time. And the patterns are not that different from person to person. We all think that our problems are so unique and that we're unfixable and unhelpable. And the truth is that we're actually all quite alike. We're quite alike. We may look a little different. We may sound a little different, but deep inside, our feelings are all the same. And most of us struggle with feelings of imposter syndrome, feelings of being unqualified to start and to talk out there and share knowledge and value. Most of us are scared to get on camera. Most of us got distracted and got into comparisonitis, comparing ourselves with other people that we saw out there on the internet. And that pushed us back into imposter syndrome. Erik, we're not that different, are we, man?
No. That's the one, like, you nailed it. It's the one thing I've seen on every single person's call, on every single meeting I've had, on every single thing I've done here. Everybody's the same. They may have a little bit more gray in their beard, but everybody's the same. Yeah. Right? They all have the same. It all boils down to the same core thing with everybody. And that's just, I need something more.
Yeah. I need somebody to hold me accountable, and I need somebody to be there to show, to be waiting at the gym for me to work out. Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a great analogy. This is one of the things that I've done my entire adult life is when I want to get in shape, I hire a trainer. Not particularly because I don't know how to work out, but because I want somebody waiting on me at the gym so I show up. Now, that doesn't mean that I've had a trainer my entire adult life. There have been times where I have done things on my own. Sometimes I make progress that I'm proud of. Sometimes I don't. But I always make progress that I'm proud of when I'm working with a trainer, because that's that trainer's job. Yes, he or she is there to give me tips or pointers or some education about how to improve my mechanics or my form or function. But more than anything, they're making sure that I show up. And that's most likely what you need. You probably already have enough information to be dangerous. It's time to put down the notepad and pick up the paycheck. It's time to put down the course after course after course and pick up the paycheck. It's time to put down the 50 gurus and all of the different things that you're involved in. I mean, I could probably count on one or two fingers the people out there that I really think are providing good, valuable information out there on the internet. And they're actually involved inside of this community, right? There's a couple of them. You see them at our events. You see them at our recent event. You know their names, you know their faces. We talk about them. But the problem here is that there's only so much to go around. And at the end of the day, even moving into larger group environments, and we see this with our business blueprints, our group coaching calls. Sometimes you want to have an individual one-on-one conversation with somebody. You need that sometimes. I need that. I don't want to talk about things in front of a group. I get it. And if you've tried that and it hasn't worked up until this point, this is potentially for you. If you found yourself jumping from course to course, guru to guru, group to group, et cetera, this is potentially for you. This was made for you. If you've bought and struggled to start and launch, and you've stayed in the education or in learning mode and struggled to launch into launch in growth mode, this is potentially for you. If you're somebody who if you're going and growing, but you want somebody to hold you accountable and be a great sounding board, an intelligent sounding board for you, somebody to give you feedback, insights, advice when you need it, this is potentially for you. And yes, it's at a cost, but what you'll see is that the cost of this, in terms, if you break it down on a day-by-day basis, is it's nearly insignificant over time, as well as the amount compared to what you're losing by not taking action. The cost of inaction for some of you is astounding, because you could be, if you were moving and launching and testing and showing up consistently, potentially bringing in a reasonable income. I'm not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about $1,000 a month. I mean, bringing in an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month for a lot of people would be life-changing. Extra $1,000 a month would be $12,000 your first year. That's actually a pretty damn good year. Now, of course, you have to subtract your cost. But if you even broke even your first year and learned everything that you needed to learn and built an amazing foundation in your business, so your second year you could fly to the moon and make extraordinary profit, that would be an incredible start to your entrepreneurial career. Nobody who goes to college does that. Nobody who goes to college leaves college broke even with an amazing foundation to launch their career. Most people leave college with tremendous student loan debt. In many cases, go into an internship where you don't get paid, or you start at the bottom of the totem pole. Erik, I'm ranting here. Am I on the right track? What comes up for you around this?
100% on the right, 1,000% on the right track. I mean, going back to the gym thing, I mean, you go to the gym, you come home on day one, you get on the scale. I didn't lose 20 pounds. Screw this. This is a scam, right? Like, you're not giving it time to work, right? And that's what this 6 months is going to be all about. It's going to be, you spent the damn money. Let's do something with it, and let's see what happens in 6 months. Don't look at the scale. Don't look in the mirror. Just wait for that 6 months and see what day 180 looks like for you, right? No matter what that is. And then, when you go to the gym, and you were talking about a trainer, and something popped up in my head is, if I walked into a gym and I was looking for a trainer, one guy had his certificates and his college degree and all this other stuff, and was super shredded like Arnold back in the day, or still today, whatever. Then you got the guy next to him who has a picture. I did weigh 300 pounds. Now I weigh 200 pounds. I want that guy, because he's done it. He's been there and he got results. Yeah, this guy's smart and has his degrees and everything else, but I want the guy who has proven to me that he can do exactly what I'm looking to do. And that's why I want to do this so bad. I've been there. I've done it. I want to help everybody else get everything that they want out of whatever it is they bought. We've talked about this before. Stop buying courses. Stop it. Stop. Do something with the stuff that you have already. Do it now. Because if you waste another 6 months, that's a great one. Thanks for that. If you waste another 6 months, you don't know, like you said, what's it going to cost you to wait that extra 6 months?
Yeah.
Do it now. I think
Yeah.
there's a shoe company that says, just do it, right? Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And look, we're all for education. We're an education company. We're an education company. I mean, we're all for education. But the thing that we're not about is just stuffing endless things. I mean, we're starting to see a trend out in the marketplace that's unfortunate, where people are just hawking just endless amounts of crap at people, and we're in this sort of this weird reselling kind of stage or chapter of the online marketing world, where people are involved in all kinds of different crap business models. And people are just hawking things to try to get as much money out of a client as they possibly can, overloading them with information. I mean, friends, contrasted to what we do here at Legendary, I mean, we remove old stuff and give free updates to our curriculum whenever something new and relevant comes up. um, we combine our curriculum inside of our courses with a workshop element, so we can deliver the hottest trends and the most relevant strategies to you. Now launching this accountability program, we want you to use what you've bought. Inside of this accountability program, we're not going to be introducing you to tons of new courses or training or information. We're going to be showing you how to get the most out of what you have. We're going to show you, like any good mentor would, for example, out on a construction site. I remember times when I would have been using a tool, whether that was a crowbar, whether that was a sawzall, and maybe I was on one side of the job site because my dad or somebody else that I was working for sent me over there to get started with something, and I did. With the limited information that I had, I began to use that tool. And when that mentor came over, and my dad acted as my mentor for a long time, um, and so did other people that I worked for in the construction field, came over and saw me working with that particular tool in that particular way. They stopped me and said, "Hey, let me show you how to get more leverage with that crowbar. Let me show you how to work it and hold it a little bit differently." They weren't introducing me to a new tool. They were simply showing me how to use the same tool that I was already using in a more powerful way. Same thing with all the different saws. I mean, let me show you how to put a different blade on that sawzall so you can cut through that particular material that you're cutting through right there faster and safer. And so they would introduce me to a small tooth blade rather than a large tooth blade when I was cutting something like a pipe or something of that nature, right? Larger tooth blades cut through wood better. Small tooth blades cut through metal and pipes and things of that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at first. But that didn't mean that I didn't already start. Now, some of you just have walked over to the tool and said, "Man, that damn tool looks too scary. I ain't even picking that thing up." And we will show you, Erik will show you how to pick that tool up and use it safely. How to pick that tool up and not, not realize that it's not going to hurt you. How to go and begin to put yourself out there in a way that's going to help you to realize that you're going to be okay. And that's going to give you that encouragement and that compassion along the way. Challenging carefrontation is what I call it. That's one of the things that it's one of the words that we use quite often around here in Legendary is carefrontation. It's not confrontation, and it's not being condescending or demeaning or putting you down. It's confronting you in a caring way, challenging you in a caring way to push you to your potential, man, to reach inside and see what you're really made of. Because sometimes it's difficult for us to see our own potential, but it's easy for us to see other people's potential, right? And the same way that it's difficult for us to see our own growth, but it's easy for us to see other people's growth. And I want to remind everybody that in the same way you may need mentorship, we also receive that same mentorship from each other and individual mentors that we have, because it can be hard for us to see our own growth sometimes too. We don't want to be your gurus, friends. We're never going to invite you to an event so you can touch the threads on our robes and somehow have a transformation. We're not going to pray over you. We're not going to lay hands on you. We're not going to splatter you with miracle water. We're not going to walk ahead of you, and we're not going to walk behind you. We're going to walk beside you, because that's how growth happens. That's how real transformation happens. Not in a shaming environment where you're having a finger waved at you, or you're afraid to show up because you don't want to be talked to in a condescending way. That's not what this is about. This is about a compassionate environment where we are going to provide you with carefrontation and guidance along your journey, because we know you want it and we know you can do it. And it's okay to reach out and ask for help. If you want a free session to explore what this relationship might look like and what the program is all about, email me personally at dave@legendarymarketer.com. You can just put Erik in the subject line. You can write me a short note. You can write me no note at all. You can just say, hey, hook me up with the free call with Erik. Hey, I want to explore this with Erik. Hey, I need help. Whatever you say, I'm going to respond back to your email personally and CC Erik in, and you two can set up a call and you can explore what the relationship may look like for you. Erik, what words would you leave our community with in terms of the carefrontation and compassionate guidance that we all oftentimes so desperately need, and we all quite frankly want, I think, if we're honest, and how that sort of guidance and mentorship and help has also helped you in your life when you've gotten it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's this is look, this is an amazing thing that we're doing here, because we all have needed it at some point. We don't admit it to ourselves, like most things, right? And you touched on this a few minutes ago. I always tell people I'm the best giver of advice. I'm the worst taker of it. But we can see other people's potential through our eyes, just because, again, we've been there and we've done that. I'm not tooting my own horn, but we have seen the perils and we've seen the successes. We've seen the failures. We've seen the great things. We've seen people make a ton of money, but it's whatever it is, like you said, even if it's an extra $500 per month. I mean, who doesn't want, I'll take $500 per month. You'll take $500 per month. Yes, please. Right. But that's not the goal here. The goal here is to make you feel good about yourself, about your situation, about your family, all through this program. At the end of 6 months, what is your I completed it? What is your I checked that box after 6 months? And that's, I've gotten a lot of that since I've been here from you and from everybody else in this community. I didn't just learn all this stuff over the last 4 years on my own. It was because I had this community of people and this mentorship, if you will, around me inside of Legendary. That's put me in this seat today, man.
Yeah. And it is a beautiful process, my brother. It has been wonderful to see and experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to be working with you side by side every day, man. So thanks for coming on, sharing a little bit of your time today with us, and I will look forward to sending you many people and hooking you up with them and them up with you, and hopefully we can help change a lot more lives, and at the end of 6 months see a whole lot of people in a much better, more empowering and better quality situation than you are right now, having achieved whatever goals you have, and feeling better, feeling confident, not only hopefully being in a better financial situation, or at least having a better foundation for a bigger and better financial future, but also for more confidence, more self-esteem, more self-love and compassion, right? More just all around better habits. That's what this is all about. So Erik, man, looking forward, and thanks for your time today, my brother. I will talk to you soon.
Thanks,
All right.
brother.
Bye.
Later.
All right, my friends, I've got a picture of Erik up here talking to our videographer at our most recent event here in New Orleans. It was a wonderful event. Thanks for all of you who came out to that. It was an honor and a privilege to be able to serve you, and it will continue to be an honor and a privilege to be able to serve each one of you and meet you where you're at. That's our goal here, is to try to meet all of you where you're at, and some of you are in different situations. We're skilled at being able to meet you where you're at and be able to help you along, whether you are, a 6-figure or a 7-figure earner and you want to scale from there, or whether you're somebody who's just getting started, man, and you just want to get, you just want to get launched. You're tired of spinning your wheels. You're tired of jumping from thing to thing, course to course, feeling like you're on the hamster wheel of internet marketing. Let's reel that in. Let's get you unsubscribed. Let's get the blinders on, right, onto your goals and your dreams and what you want to accomplish, and tune out all of the noise. And if we can help you in any way, shape, or form, including with a 6-month mentorship accountability program, it would be our honor to be able to do that. So email me at dave@legendarymarketer.com with the subject line Erik. You don't have to put anything in the body if you don't want to, but if you want to, then you can. You can write a note. I will read every single one of them. And my friends, thank you for your time today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to Erik and I rant a little bit about what we're passionate about, which is actually getting people to use the education that they bought. That's what we want from you. We want you to use it. We want you to be successful with it. And we want to do anything and everything that we can in order to make that happen. And so email me, dave@legendarymarketer.com with Erik in the subject line, and I'll hook you up with a free session with Erik. You can explore the 6-month mentorship accountability program with him. And with that being said, get out of here. Have a great day. Be legendary. Peace.